The long war was ending, the deadline drew near, the air filled with tension, confusion and fear. At Kabul's last airport, crowds pressed to escape, and the 13 stood guard at the Abbey Gate. 13 held fast in the smoke and the flame. History will always remember their names. The mission was heavy, the cost was so great, when the blast shook the ground at the Abbey Gate. Staff Sergeant Hoover, a Marine to the core, he led from the front as he'd always before. In the chaos and fire, he stood as a shield, a leader whose courage would never yield. Sergeant Rosario, Johanny by name, her service and kindness will live on the same. With a heart for the weary, she carried the weight and fell with her brothers at the Abbey Gate. Sergeant Nicole G, compassion her mark, she lifted the children from chaos and dark. I love my job were the words that she wrote. Her name lives forever in stories we quote. Corporal Hunter Lopez, faithful and true, California's valley remembers you. A son and a brother, with honor he came, and carried the torch of the proud Marine name. Corporal Daegan Page, Nebraska's own son, a brother, a teammate, remembered as one. A Cornhusker heart with the courage he gave, his memory lives on with the free and the brave. Corporal Sanchez, Humberto stood tall, answering duty and freedom's last call. From Indiana's towns to the gates of the fight, his service shines on through the longest of nights. Lance Corporal Espinoza, David so young, a Texan whose journey had only begun. In the smoke and the fire, he stood unafraid, and gave up his tomorrow so others were saved. Lance Corporal Schmitz, young Jared stood near. His courage was certain, his purpose was clear. A life scarcely started, a future erased, a Marine whose devotion will never be replaced. Lance Corporal McCollum, Rylee by name, a husband, a father, now honored in fame. Wyoming remembers the life he had planned, cut short in the dust of Afghanistan. Lance Corporal Merola, Dylan stood tall, answering freedom's unyielding call. From California's mountains his journey was cast, and his sacrifice echoes as long as time lasts. Lance Corporal Nikoui, Kareem gave his breath, a Marine who faced danger and answered with death. His family remembers, his brothers recall, the courage he carried, the gift of it all. Hospital man Soviak, Maxton so true, a Navy Corpsman whose care always grew. With healing hands steady, he stood in the fight, and his story will carry through every long night. Staff Sergeant Knauss, Ryan stood tall, an army soldier who answered the call. In shadows of chaos, his duty was plain, a life laid for others, a loss and a gain. 13 held fast in the smoke and the flame. History will always remember their names. The mission was heavy, the cost was so great, when the blast shook the ground at the Abbey Gate. So sing now the ballad and let it be known of the lives that were given, the courage they'd shown. The war's final chapter was written that day at Abbey Gate shadow, where heroes still stay.